Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
This hairstyle was enough to get an 8th grader kicked out of school. Tonight, her mother is furious, but the Archdiocese says there's more to it than that. 4 cornrows on the top of the student's head were deemed a violation of the dress code, which does not allow for extreme or distracting hair.
That mom now has a lot of questions. Our Mara McDonald is live in Grosse Pointe Farms tonight. And Mac, after Local 4 called the school about this, well, there's been a development, it would seem.
Well, that's right, Jason. It turns out that now there is going to be a meeting between this family and the school tomorrow morning. And these are the words of the Archdiocese, hopefully an amenable resolution can come out of it. Take a look.
Her hair looked fairly like it does right now, but with 4 braids.
And that was enough to get Elsa effectively kicked out of school, or what the school calls an invitation not to return, not technically an expulsion, because her 4 braids violate the dress code. She was told the cornrows are extreme.
I cannot believe it's come to this.
Kassab, who is an attorney, thinks the hair issue is cover for her series of pointed emails to the school about her dissatisfaction with the mask policy.
I think really they don't like me as a parent. I'm very vocal, I'm very direct.
The Archdiocese tells us while it cannot provide details on the situation, it did send over this statement. Quote, I can confirm the school is actively working with this family to find an amenable resolution to ongoing challenges. The parent is aware these challenges extend beyond any concerns about a hairstyle or mask usage. Elsa has been barred from school and has only 2 months left before the school year is over. And she's done at St. Paul's. Does it make you not like school?
Yeah. It does.
How do you feel?
Sad and like garbage.
Back here live, I asked Kassab, what are these other issues that the Archdiocese is referring to? And she says, from her perspective, she has no idea what they're talking about. The best she could come up with is that Elsa got in trouble twice this year for wearing nail polish to school. Is that all that this is? Tonight, everybody seems to agree there's some subtext in the background, but not quite sure exactly what everybody's position is right now. The Archdiocese says it cannot elaborate because of privacy concerns. We're live in Grosse Pointe Farms tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara, we'll see if they get it straightened out tomorrow. Thanks.
Tonight, the Pentagon rejects Poland's offer that it would give the U.S. its fighter jets for use by Ukraine. Poland intended to deliver 28 jets to a U.S. air base in Germany. But a Pentagon spokesperson says transferring the jets to Ukraine is not tenable and may further escalate tensions with Russia. According to the UN, nearly 500 civilians have been killed since the war began, and at least 2 million people have left Ukraine. Despite using all the forces it had concentrated in and around Ukraine, officials say Russia is still making very little progress and suggests they're unlikely to make much progress in the foreseeable future.
He has no sustainable political endgame in the face of what is going to continue to be fierce resistance from Ukrainians.
Russia has now proposed another ceasefire in 5 Ukrainian cities and other smaller towns starting tomorrow.
The impact of Russia's invasion of Ukraine continues to be felt at the gas pump here at home, and now has Governor Whitmer calling for action. She's joined 5 other governors asking Congress to suspend the federal gas tax of 18.4 cents per gallon until the end of the year. In Washington, President Biden today announcing a U.S. ban on all Russian oil imports. The president acknowledging the ban will push soaring gas prices even higher, while squarely blaming Russian President Vladimir Putin.
To the oil and gas companies and to the finance firms that back them, we understand Putin's war against the people of Ukraine is causing prices to rise. We get that. That's self-evident. But, it's no excuse to exercise excessive price increases or padding profits or any kind of effort to exploit this situation or American consumers, exploit them. Russia's aggression is costing us all, and it's no time for profiteering or price gouging.
AAA reported the average price for a gallon of gas in the U.S. hit $4.17 today. That's the highest recorded average price in U.S. history.
Congress today passing a $107 billion plan to overhaul the U.S. Postal Service. The reform has been years in the making and comes after widespread complaints about mail service during the pandemic. Our Pamela Osborne joins us live with what customers will notice. Pamela.
Well, Kimberly, the mail is going to run 6 days a week. And then there's an added feature. The Postal Service will now be required to create a dashboard so you and I can get online, take a look and see real-time updates on deliveries. Here is how they were able to save that service.
The Postal Service is the only mail carrier that delivers to every community across our nation.
That is what makes the service the post office provides so essential. You probably remember those pandemic delays.
Like Saturday, we didn't get no mail at all.
And talks of cutting back on service. Those worries are a thing of the past, thanks in part to Senator Gary Peters' bipartisan Postal Service reform bill.
In recent years, we have seen how burdensome financial requirements drove the Postal Service to use cost-cutting measures that compromised delivery services.
Here's what's changed. The Postal Service will no longer have to pre-fund health benefits for retirees 75 years in advance, and those retirees will enroll in Medicare when they are eligible.
These reforms will save the Postal Service more than $49 billion and ensure this essential public service.
And so there is still some criticism. Some people say this doesn't go far enough to improve the mail service itself. But there was a lot of support on this from both sides of the aisle in Washington. Now that it passed in both the House and the Senate, it goes to the president's desk. Reporting live tonight in Detroit, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Okay, Pam, thank you. A manhunt is underway now along the Detroit-Hamtramck border for a man accused of shooting and killing his sister. Detroit police are searching for Nashwan Ali. Police say he killed his sister after being thrown out of their house on Bloom Street earlier this afternoon. If you see him, you should not approach him, as police consider him armed and dangerous. Instead, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number, 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Opening statements begin tomorrow in the trial of 4 men charged with plotting to kidnap Governor Whitmer.
11 women and 7 men were selected to decide the case against Adam Fox, Brandon Concerta, Barry Croft, and Daniel Harris. They're accused of plotting against the governor over her stay-at-home policies and COVID restrictions in 2020. Defense attorneys say the group of men were entrapped by the FBI. 2 other men, though, who pleaded guilty, will testify for the government.
The Detroit branch of the NAACP hosted its kickoff and passing of the gavel ceremony tonight.
And the ceremony is to launch the 67th annual Fight for Freedom Fund dinner. The 2022 dinner chairs were announced at Rooster Tail in Detroit, with both Mayor Mike Duggan and Reverend Wendell Anthony in attendance. The Fight for Freedom Fund dinner will be held May 1st at Huntington Place in downtown Detroit. That, of course, is the former Cobo Hall. And tomorrow night, Mayor Duggan will be delivering his annual State of the City address. You can watch that live right here on Local 4 and on clickondetroit.com. Our coverage starts at 7 p.m.
Still ahead, Detroit police taking major steps to keep its officers.
The new incentive being offered that the city hopes will be a game changer. Here's Andrew.
And Kimberly and Jason, a beautiful looking night tonight. Just getting colder. We're now below freezing at 30 degrees, feels like 25. Overnight lows will be in the 20s by the time you make it to the bus stop tomorrow morning. Some wind chills may be in the teens, so make sure you bundle up. What about tomorrow afternoon's temperatures? Some good news there. Any more snow in our future? Your 7-day forecast minutes away.
But first, a husband dies a hero, protecting his wife of 20 years.
He laid on top of her and held her close and pretty much saved her life.
How he saved her life when a powerful tornado hit, destroying their home.